What's happening, everyone? The transfer window is well underway, but there are still some class acts that haven't yet found their move. Helping me now work out the best move for some iconic players is the wonderful JCC. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Always a joy. Always an honour to talk football with you, mate. And what I thought we could do today, right? There are some players that we know are going to be leaving their team. Some of these players are genuine icons of the Premier League, but we cannot quite work out where they're going to go. Like, there isn't an obvious pathway. You know, some moves, it feels almost destined.
Yeah.
Some, I just cannot see how it's going to go for the particular player. The player that I would like to discuss first, primarily because I rate him so highly. I think he's such a brilliant little footballer. I really do. And that is Harvey Elliott. So unfortunate to be at Liverpool. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
So unfortunate to be at Liverpool because I believe Harvey Elliott at any other Premier League team would be a mainstay of that team, an icon of that team, potentially the jewel in the crown of that team. He's a wonderful player, John.
You believe that?
Yeah.
That highly rated?
I think he's wicked.
So if he was at Chelsea, he'd be the jewel in the crown. He'd take
I think he would
Palmer's
play.
crown.
I think he would play. Maybe not the jewel in the crown at any club, but I think he would get in Chelsea's team. His best
starting.
His best position, I think, is one of those front three and not the centre forward. He's and at Liverpool during his tenure, to get into that Liverpool team in those positions, you write off the Salah position because it's just impossible. And Luis Diaz is one of the best in the world in his position. Sadio Mane, one of the best in the world in his position. It's been so unfortunate for him that he's never really been at a team where there's been any hope of getting into a team in that position.
Yeah, and I guess this is why we're discussing it and him. I think he has to have a move to prove that. But I think you rate him a lot higher than I do. I think he's amazing. I think he's a brilliant player and he should move to a top club that we'll get onto. But I think he's had opportunities to have a run in the Liverpool team and he wasn't fancied, whether it was Klopp or whether it's now Arne Slot. He's had a chance to play and he's not kept a place in those teams for a reason. I think it's because
the reason is because of the players above it. No, he's not as good.
Too high.
That particular level, the best team in the country, one of the most dazzling teams in Europe. That level is too high. I agree.
And that's not an insult.
No,
he's 22 years old.
That level is too
Liverpool
high.
Winning everything.
That level is too high for 99.9% of professional footballers.
Yeah.
But his level, I believe, is literally just one rung below that.
Yeah, I agree.
Just one rung. Well, he's a Champions League level footballer.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to move to a club of the size, for me, Villa or a Tottenham, somewhere where he's going to get a run in a team and play.
Tottenham, now that makes a lot more sense to me, primarily off the back of simply them being in the Champions League and the way that he plays the game and the way that Tottenham fans view the game. The link that I've seen, however, troubled me. Like, he's not a West Ham player. Like, this level West Ham team, it's not his level.
I mean, he'd elevate them. It'd be amazing for them.
Looking at it from their perspective, it would be a great signing for West Ham. Yeah. But it would be a really bad move for him. He's so much better than a West Ham team that feels like it's in the doldrums.
I don't agree. I think he's got to prove himself. I think he's brilliant. He's 22 years old. He's been amazing for England, youth level. Like,
he's been brilliant for years as well.
Potentially, he's going to be an England player going forwards based off of all of that. But I think he's got something to prove. You're talking to me like you opened your argument with he could, be the jewel in the crown at any other team. I don't think he plays for City. I don't think he plays for Arsenal. I don't think he plays for Chelsea.
I
think he's in the Tottenham team, but it's not like, oh, we've got Harvey Elliott first name on the team sheet. I think he's got to prove himself.
At Tottenham,
I think he gets in the team, but I think he's got to prove himself. Like, I think there's work for him to do.
This is weird. You and I generally chime with the way that we see footballers, but there's a discrepancy here, isn't there?
Yeah,
I rate him a lot higher than you do.
I just think he's got something to prove. Look, people are going to point to Fulham bias because he left us on bad terms, and it's not that. I just think that there's something to prove, which is why he needs this move. I think West Ham would be good for him. I mean, I think he could go higher. I think he should. I think Villa, Tottenham maybe
Tottenham only because
Newcastle,
they're in the Champions League. Newcastle,
a team on Europa League or Champions League, and he's got to go there and he's got to prove that he should start week in, week out.
If he was faster, I think when you think about what Arne Slot wants from his team, why does Arne Slot not fancy him? I think it's quite obviously only pace. I just don't think he's got the athleticism to be in Arne Slot's version of Liverpool. It's that pace, that burst of pace that he just doesn't necessarily have. Yeah. But in terms of quality on the ball, in terms of carrying the ball, in terms of scoring big goals, He scored away in Paris to win the game for Liverpool in the last minute of the game.
Yeah. No, and that's what I mean. He's got
think about
quality.
how good he's been for so long. Like, do you remember when he had his leg broken playing against Leeds?
Yeah.
That was like Leeds are back in the Premier League now. That was and he's 22 now.
I know what you mean though about the pace. I also think his size doesn't help him because I think we're in this new era of the size. I mean, have you seen Leeds? Have you seen the? It was.
What are you doing?
Sorry, mate. It's the only reason.
I consider Harvey Elliott to be a tall man.
It's the only reason you didn't go pro. It's the only reason. But no, like you look at like Leeds. You mentioned with the leg break, where they've just signed I think 3 players who are all 6'3" plus. There's a real era of physicality, and he doesn't have that.
Do you know what needs to change? Do you know this happened before in football? But do you know what happened? 2 players arrived in the Premier League to totally change what you've just said. It used to be big geezers. Every team, 6'3", 6'3", 6'3".
Yeah.
Suddenly, Luka Modric at Tottenham arrived and just started dictating the game, dictating the tempo, being the best player on the pitch, being the best midfielder in the league, and he was my height. And similarly, David Silva. 2 players arrived, and suddenly everyone went, "Oh, you don't need to."
I couldn't agree more, but I'd also put Bernardo Silva in that category. But you've got to be that good.
You've got to be that.
He's not that good yet, and he could be, but he's got to be. You've got to change the game. You know, you've just compared Harvey Elliott to David Silva. Yeah. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
But look, Harvey Elliott, in terms of where do you think he ends up? He definitely leaves Liverpool, right? So where do you think he ends up?
I think he leaves. I'm gonna say Villa or Tottenham.
Not a bad move.
Villa or Tottenham.
I think it's got to be. If I was his mate, I think it's got to be a team in the Champions League. That would be that. You know, if like I say, if I was his friend and he were to seek my counsel, I would say, look, Harvey, man, you have to play in the Champions League. Off the back of what you've done for Liverpool, off the back of what you've done for England, you can't play for a team that are nearly in the Champions League.
I understand it.
So, and Tottenham, the way that he plays the game, I think Tottenham fans would love him. I think he'd be good there. Yeah. I do. I think he'd be good.
Yeah.
Another player, slightly different stage in his career, but another player that really needs to get this move right, and I really hope he does, is Jack Grealish.
Yes. Yeah, he really does, doesn't he?
He's going to leave City.
It's felt like this for a while, though. It's been like 2 years of he probably should leave.
Yeah. And some of the moves that I've seen him linked with, they just make no sense to me.
Go on.
Everton.
Oh, he's bigger than Everton. He's a bigger player.
He can't go to Everton.
It's too big a step down. I mean, I think Everton will do a lot better than people think next season. David Moyes, brilliant manager, massive club, but it's too big a step down.
Yeah, he just can't go there. He just can't go to Everton. So Everton is what I've seen linked. There was a link to Napoli as well.
I don't mind that. I was going to say.
Does well in
so I wasn't sure what the links were. Napoli to me immediately. It's a good move for him.
McTominay,
sexy
De Bruyne.
move. I could see him at Napoli.
Oh, he looked great.
He'd look great in the
You know how
kit.
Scott McTominay suddenly like started wearing like bodgy and
suddenly looked really cool. Yeah. I see that. But like, I think I was abroad. If I'm Jack Grealish, I think I go abroad. That's where my head went. But there isn't that many clubs that would suit. But I think Italian football.
Oh, he would shine.
He would shine.
He would shine.
He
would be so good.
I like that. Is there
I just like Grealish, you know.
Yeah,
I just want it to work for him. I really do. I think he's such a good bloke.
Yeah.
Off the pitch and on the pitch, I think he's one of the.
I agree.
One of the best around at the moment that you could get hold of. So he will leave City. Where do you think he ends up? Napoli, is that one? The more we talk about Napoli and like the way that it looks, it could be good.
Yeah, it's a fun project out there. De Bruyne has just gone. I don't think he goes there though. I just can't see it.
I think he stays in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think he stays in the Premier League. It's a real tough one.
If I were a Tottenham fan,
I'd be all over it. I know we're just picking Tottenham's squad, but I'd be all over it.
But they're in the Champions League with a team that finished 16th in the league or whatever.
It just depends on the wages.
Yeah. But Grealish, the reason why it could work is because Grealish must know that he needs this move to be a good one. Like he can't go to Naples for a year and it not work out.
No.
Like this move. If he's to have any longevity left at any club, this is the move.
Yeah.
The move to take him till he's 33, 34.
Yeah.
This is that move. So it needs to be right. He needs to give it the counsel, the due diligence, the focus.
Does doing it for Tottenham get him into the England squad over doing it for Napoli? Do you think he still has eyes on the England squad? He's been out of it obviously for a year.
He's lucky that he plays in a position that is up for grabs.
Yeah,
he plays in a position that isn't nailed down, and it can be anyone's. If anyone shined, like if Anthony Gordon has the season of his life next year, it will be his. If Phil Foden has the season of his life in that position, it will be his.
Yeah.
If Jack Grealish though goes to Naples, wins the league, scores 12, assists 12, could be.
Do you
his.
think he gets in? Yeah.
Rashford will be thinking the same. Rashford at Barcelona will be thinking the same. But I think it's either Tottenham, because I think Tottenham fans would absolutely adore Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Think of the players they've loved over the years.
Yeah, he's
Gaza
that type.
Yeah, but I hope he makes a good move, and I'd like to see him go to Naples. I think.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
I'd like to see him go to Naples.
But he would do well at Tottenham. You can see it. He is that type of player. Like Glenn Hoddle, like Gaza. He's got that about him.
They like players like that. Yeah, Ginola, Bale.
Yes.
What do you reckon for Jadon Sancho?
Oh, I think he's unlucky. You wanted him, didn't you? I think Chelsea wanted to buy him, but the wages were just too high.
No.
I think you wanted him.
We paid $5 million to not buy him because of the wages.
Because of the wages. I think if his wage demand was lower,
he wouldn't.
And that's what this all comes down to. There's clubs linked to him. I'm assuming Dortmund are in for him again. But like
Juve's the one that we
Juventus, but then no one's paying him 380 grand a week or whatever it is. He's on crazy money.
And I feel like he's the type of player that will just sit tight. Like Manchester United have a problem. They have a lot of players that are on contracts that they will not get matched elsewhere. Luke Shaw, for example, is surplus to requirements of Man United. He will not get that kind of money elsewhere ever again.
But you think Jadon Sancho sits tight in a World Cup year?
Yeah.
In a position you've just said is up for grabs. Yeah. It could be his. He could go to Dortmund and kill it.
is a very particular example of someone who is quite happy. Like, remember when he was at Manchester United before? He basically didn't play for them. Remember when he fell out with Ten Hag and he pinned a statement about the Manchester United manager to the top of his Twitter profile in order to effectively render himself out of action for Manchester United.
For not apologising.
Yeah. He isn't a man from previous experience that is desperate to play football week in, week out.
But you think you pass up the opportunity in a World Cup?
Mate, he could have played for Chelsea. He scored a goal for us in a European final.
Yeah.
He could have come if he was ready to manoeuvre his wages, but he wasn't. Why would he be ready to do it somewhere else? He didn't do it at a club like Chelsea where he was happy, settled, apparently a Chelsea fan. And when Chelsea said to him, look, we'd like to sign you, but we wages, and he went, nah.
So how does this deal look? He's not going anywhere.
Someone has to give him the money that he feels he deserves.
No one's paying him that money. Not one club in world football is paying him that money.
It can happen,
aren't
though.
Paying him 300 grand a week.
They could, because what Juventus could do is pay him 150, and Manchester United would have to subsidise that.
They won't do that. With Rashford, they've not done that.
No.
Barcelona.
No.
So they're not doing it for Sancho.
No.
This is where I think it becomes. If you are saying Jadon Sancho's the man you think he is, does he just sit there?
Yeah, I think that could happen for Luke Shaw.
Does he move?
I think Luke Shaw will never get those wages again. Casemiro, when Manchester United fans are saying to me, I think Casemiro's had it now. We really want to sell him. Okay, he's on over 300 grand a week. He will not be going anywhere unless Saudi offer him 300 grand a week. But they're the only club they're the only destination in the world that would possibly do that.
I think Luke Shaw suits. Luke Shaw is very pro-England. He loves playing for England. He's played well for England, and I think he'll have an eye on that World Cup and say, well, I can just sit tight at United, see out my contract, play 10 games and then go off and play for England in the World Cup. And he knows he's going to get picked because he's had so much favour with them, whereas Sancho doesn't have that.
No.
So I think Sancho's a really... If I had to predict now, I'd say he sits tight, which is the wrong career move. Terrible career move, but I think that's what he does.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. And a really difficult one now.
Yeah.
I mean, Raheem Sterling. It's gone so wrong at Chelsea. It's gone so wrong since he left City. I mean, Arsenal fans, the ones I've spoken to, they're really not a fan of his at all. I mean, it's over at Chelsea. It's obviously over at Arsenal. Fulham have been linked.
Yeah, I've seen that. We have. The only thing that gives me hope with that is Marco Silva's ability to resurrect a player of that sort of age and stature's ability. He's done it with Willian multiple times. Where there's been signings where Willian signing, I was like, what are we doing? The first time we signing Willian from Arsenal, we'd gone back to Brazil, that didn't work out. We'll take him, and he was brilliant. Yeah. We had 3 years out of him, so he could. By the way, how much would I think I'd love that.
Also,
I'd love it. But
with Sterling, you don't need at Fulham. At Arsenal, the spotlight was on him to such a level that he had to perform to such a level that he was never going to be able to do that, have that consistency. At Fulham, it isn't about that. At Fulham, it's about scoring 10 goals over the whole season is good.
Yeah.
Rather than scoring effectively, 20 goals over a whole season is good.
Yeah, of course. The bar's going to be lower. I think my brain, even though I've seen it with Marco Silva, it still goes, I think Sterling's finished. Don't touch it. But I would have said the same about Willian, and look at what he got out of Willian.
Would you do it? Would you?
No.
Say you were making the decision. Would you have him at Fulham?
No. I mean, if we take him, I'll accept him and I'll back him. He'll be a Fulham player, and I will then have to move my sort of brain towards, okay, is this going to be another? It's gonna work because I back Silva, I back the management. But right now, I wouldn't take that risk. I'd want to see us invest in a 23, 24-year-old who we could maybe get more out of. Not going to have to pay the huge wages to. And I don't know.
What do you think then for Sterling? So not Fulham, obviously not Chelsea, obviously not Arsenal.
Could he go abroad? Could he go?
He's younger than you think because he's been doing the business for such a long time. Like he's a QPR when he was 15.
I know. He's a Premier League legend.
Yeah, he belongs in a hall. Like simply for the trophy hall, he's
100%.
absolutely
Liverpool, City,
outrageous.
Chelsea, and Arsenal. I know it's not gone well for him at those clubs, but you've played for those clubs. It's just insane.
No, the trophy hall of Raheem Sterling, the goal record as well. Yeah. Like there was a time, wasn't there, where Raheem Sterling at the back post, off the back of a De Bruyne low cross, was about as guaranteed in a game as anything else was.
There was a time where he was one of the best wingers in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
easily for 2-3 seasons.
That link up that he had with Suarez at one point and Sturridge, then the link up that he had with Sergio Aguero, it was truly unbelievable. And like at various points, he was scoring what? I mean, I think he's had a season 25 goals in the same season. You know, that was a season 2019.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
You know,
there's a lot of clubs. There's a lot of clubs I think that could use a even 50%.
But
Raheem
he's
Sterling.
young. What you nearly say with Raheem Sterling is you can almost start talking about like I don't know Saudi or America. He's 30.
I know, it's crazy.
He's 30, and it's because he's been doing it. Because people can remember him playing for England in Brazil. Right, that's how long ago he was featuring for England. You're like, oh well, it's time for him to go to Saudi, but he's 30.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, of course he thinks he can still do a job in the Premier League. He's 30.
But Roy, he started so young. You know it more than anyone, mate. Like, it's miles on the clock, isn't it? He's been running Premier League minutes since 16 years old. It's you know, it's going to catch up to him. It's what I think people are worried about with Jude Bellingham or what happened in a way to Wayne Rooney, Cole Palmer. He plays so much football, so young. Saka.
If his wages aren't heavy, I think he'd be a really good signing for a club like Fulham. If his wages are affordable, if he's ready to manoeuvre on those, because what he will bring to the club, the elevation. Like there'll be players at clubs like Fulham, clubs like Sunderland. That would just love the idea of Raheem Sterling being in their dressing room. Like the tide will rise just having a player of that quality around.
And I said with Fulham, like Willian, Traore's another one who's come to the club and maybe been a bit written off and been done well. So I think it would work in that sense. But I think there should be a number of clubs interested.
Be very interesting to see how it all pans out. These are the players. These are the marquee players that are available. And currently, nothing's really happening. So it'd be very interesting to see how it all develops.
It will. I think it's the most interesting transfer window in the last decade. It's unbelievable.
It's been fascinating, hasn't it? It's a long way to go yet as well.
Yeah.
John, as always, a joy. Thank you so much, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Really enjoy talking football with you. And make sure that you click the link in the description below. John's YouTube channel is there. You will find brilliant videos, all football related. So go and check them out. And I look forward to seeing what you have to say about these players in the comment section below. In a bit.